How fascinating. This new interruption was a deep, basso rumble of a voice that almost made her jump out of her shoes. It seemed to come out of nowhere, and she and Sheriff Braylon turned as one to look at the source. He was a towering man, unbelievably not sweating in the noon sun. He wore a thin white shirt, tan-coloured trousers and heavy walking boots. His only concession to the sun was a pair of classic black aviator sunglasses and a white cloth tied as a bandana around his neck. Inexplicably, he wore heavy gloves over his hands, one of them holding a slung pack over his shoulder. There wasn't an ounce of spare fat on him. He looked like an anatomical diagram or a classical Greek statue, though the look was marred by the strange tattoos that covered his cheek, jaw and neck, vanishing down beneath the shirt. A crashed supercar, a dead driver, judging from the bag. The police are suspicious, and what I take to be a scientist or a doctor, already on the scene. He looked into her eyes. If you are a doctor as well, then this could get terribly confusing. Call me Doc, or Osmium. And you are? Who was this arrogant and presumptive man? Susan thought as she answered him. Dr. Susan Green, pathology mostly, but I dabble and do medical support for things like this. So yes, I'm a doctor. What are you a doctor of? She put her hands on her hips and lifted her chin, bringing every ounce of her own authority and intelligence to bear on this interloper. He didn't seem too taken aback. Oh, life, the cosmos, everything and anything interesting. I'll call you Susan then, if you don't mind. Doc shifted his pack on his shoulder and began pacing over towards the wreckage. Susan followed hurriedly on Osmium's trail, like the tail of a comet, finding herself babbling about the accident. Eli Grange had been the best driver, on paper. 3 previous record attempts, jet fighter experience, inhumanly good reflexes. The car had been checked over a dozen times. The safety harness and the other life-preserving equipment were all in good order. Everything had some form of redundancy, and yet something had gone wrong. On the first proper run, the rear end had drifted and the car had tumbled end over end, side over side, until it was completely wrecked. The doc crouched amongst the main body of the debris, listening, asking questions, technical questions about the wheels, about the chassis, about the engine. Intelligent, seeking questions that she couldn't always answer to his satisfaction, but he seemed to be finding his way. She glanced about her in a panic and saw the rest of the pit crew heading over, angry, curious, wondering who the hell this man was, perhaps, just as she was.